Greetings, my beautiful CIIS community. Greetings, graduates, the class of 2017. My name is Omulepu, and I am a proud member of the COSY cohort of 21 in the Integrative Health Studies Department. And before we really get going, I want to quickly acknowledge our IHL team, Meg Jordan, our program chair, Rachel Lefkowitz, senior program manager, and our faculty, Mary Levy, Natalie Metz, Leslie Davenport, Atava Garcia-Schwazecki, Megan Lipsitt, Laura Putnam, and Heidi Frazier. Thank you. Okay, so before it gets juicy, let's take a big breath in, and when we take a breath in, I want a belly breath in. Everyone raise one hand up. Ready? Big breath in, one hand up, and on the exhale, bring that hand down and pat yourself on the back. All right, yeah, that's right. Congratulations. So, I first learned about CIIS in a newspaper clipping from the East Bay Express. Hard to believe, right? Well, since then, my life is forever changed. In fact, my time here at CIIS has been nothing short of transformative. I've visited internal landscapes I never knew existed. In guided imagery, I met my shadow self, a hideous, deformed creature who repulsed me, yet I had to accept and love him nonetheless. From Sabon Fusome, I learned the critical importance of grieving in community and the medicinal value of shedding tears, of which I shed many. From Atava, I learned to tap into ancestral wisdom by awakening to my indigenous mind. In coaching, I learned to stretch my capacity to listen, hold space, and be non-judgmental. At times I raged, at other times I was a goofball. But mostly CIIS is home, a place where I can be my weird and quirky self. It's a place of magic. In fact, when I describe it, I often refer to it as a type of Hogwarts, a school of wizardry, because there's no accident, right? We need magic more than ever. We gotta remember our magic. Graduates, ours is like the hero's journey. We set out on a quest for knowledge, wisdom, and magic, and now this graduation marks our return, when we head back into our communities and take what we've learned for healing and transformation. I'm reminded, though, a little bit of the Two Towers, Empire Strikes Back, because it feels a little bit like we're in the cliffhanger, that our entire world might be forever enshrined in death, despair, and suffering. The shenanigans of the current political administration personify everything that's wrong with our society: greed, proliferation of war, environmental degradation, institutional racism, across-the-board disparities in healthcare, wealth, education. The list is epic. I agree with award-winning journalist Chris Hedges that Trump is not the disease, but merely a symptom of a society out of balance. To me, a society bogged down and energetically stuck. It's easy to stay horrified and outraged at our current state of affairs, but I'm here to send a message. Do not fear. Do not fret. It is no accident that we are walking this hero's path now together in the midst of this madness. We have all agreed to rendezvous at this particular moment because our work is needed now. Our work is needed now. Joanna Macy speaks of the Great Turning as, I quote, the essential adventure of our time that marks a shift from an industrial growth society to a life-sustaining civilization. But for that to occur, a collective shift in consciousness is critical. And what that means is we need to change our perception of reality, what is and what isn't possible. It requires us to challenge limiting beliefs about ourselves, our capacities, and awaken to our energy bodies. It requires us to redefine our underlying notions about this earthly plane and what binds us together. As Davenport says in her work, Emotional Resilience in the Era of Climate Change, transformation is a process of, I quote, uprooting old beliefs and loosening our internal ground through which potential is uncovered. And that's what's happening now. Trump and his crew have come to help with the shift. They may not know it, but it's true. They've come to break our brokenness even more. And yes, in this crisis, there will be suffering, and it will intensify. The cracked and brick mortar will crumble, and we will be ready. We will be ready because in this room, we are the trailblazers, the healers, the artists, the visionaries, the coaches, the therapists, the teachers, the scholars of esoteric knowledge. We will be ready to hold space, build community, and recalibrate to higher vibrational frequencies so new solutions and realities can manifest. In closing, I have three last things. Number one, message to people of color. Our ancestors want us to know our suffering has not been in vain. We have in us the strength and resilience of generations embedded in our DNA and in our narratives. When we remember our ancestral knowledge, we thrive. We are positioned to be leaders in this coming period. Let compassion and grit guide us. Number two, message to those in the two-spirit community, LGBTQ. Our suffering, what's up? Our suffering is not in vain. Our broadened perspective and our commitment to love is in alignment with all that is. Number three. Number three, message to all in this room and beyond. Be fierce. Be magical. Practice wild, irreverent love. And do it with grace and an open heart. Love and healing to all. Power to the people. Power to the people.